Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Two personnel of Punjab Police who were on duty at a border outpost in Gurdaspur, Punjab, have been found dead inside a police outpost with bullet injuries. According to the police, the deceased were identified as Assistant Sub-Inspector Gurnam Singh and Home Guard Ashok Kumar. Another senior official from Gurdaspur district said the circumstances leading to the incident are under investigation. Sandeep Singh is joining me with more details. Sandeep, what more can you tell us?
बिल्कुल अगर बात की जाए तो गुरदासपुर में आज जो है एक एएसआई रैंक के अधिकारी और एक कांस्टेबल रैंक के अधिकारी को गोली मार दी गई है। हालांकि उसमें अगर बात की जाए तो पूरी तरह से पुलिस कर्मी वहां पर पहुंचे हुए नजर आ रहे हैं और पूर्ण तौर से जो है इलाका तलाशा जा रहा है। और अगर उच्च अधिकारी की बात करें, उच्च अधिकारी भी वहां पर पहुंचे हुए हैं और उच्च अधिकारी खुद कह रहे हैं कि जो एएसआई लेवल के अधिकारी हैं उनके और कांस्टेबल है उनको लगातार जो है गोलीबारी की जिसके चलते जो है उनकी पूर्ण तौर से इलाके में जो है छानबीन की जा रही है। जी
शुक्रिया संदीप हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। Now, 8 suspects, viewers, with alleged links to Pakistan's ISI and Bangladesh-based extremist groups have been arrested in Tamil Nadu and West Bengal amid intelligence alerts warning of a possible terror plot targeting Delhi's Red Fort and prominent temples. On this, the police stated that the operation was launched following specific intelligence inputs about a module allegedly planning subversive activities across the country. Meanwhile, during searches conducted earlier, officers recovered 8 mobile phones and 16 SIM cards. Investigators are also suspecting that the group had links with inter-services intelligence and contacts connected to Bangladesh. The 8 Bangladeshi and Pakistani nationals arrested are named Umair Mohammad Jahidul Islam, Mohammad Uzal, Mohammad Mizanur Rahman, Mohammad Litton, Mohammad Shahid, Mohammad Shabat and Mohammad Shabir. It's now time to welcome all my guests on the broadcast. I have with me Major General G.G. Dwivedi, Global and Strategic Defence Expert, Major General Shashi Asthana, Senior Defence Expert, former DG Infantry, Advocate Manasvi Thapar, he is a political analyst, and Mr. Madhav Nalapath, he is the editorial director of the Sunday Guardian. I want to go across to Major General G.G. Dwivedi first. Now, Major General Dwivedi, a symbolic target like the Red Fort, recovery of multiple SIM cards and mobile phones. So, what does this suggest about the operational sophistication of the module?
Well, Vishali, first and foremost, it becomes a very serious issue that a module of almost 8 people has got organized, and it is in the wake of carrying out certain very serious terrorist act. I think that comes as a major warning sign. Now, if you look at the complete narrative, now these 8 people who have been nabbed, definitely they have the links with the ISI, and in Bangladesh there are a number of groups which are working in close conjunction with ISI, like the Jamaatul Mujahideen, then you have Harkatul Jihad, even the Islami Chhatra Shabir. All these groups are in close connect with Lashkar-e-Taiba, and in this we need to connect up 2 more dots. Firstly, the ISI chief has visited Bangladesh about 2 months back, and there are known reports that the ISI cell is fully functional in the Pakistan embassy in Dhaka. Now, if you put all these things together, I think this module that have been busted is a very timely act by the intelligence agencies, because they were up to certain very serious activities or operations like the one we witnessed in Red Fort on November 10 last year. So I think that India needs to get its complete intelligence infrastructure together, because today you cannot rule out any state, not only the northeast, which is very sensitive, but I think in the south also we had the cases of ISIS modules in Kerala. Now it is Tamil Nadu, and when you connect up the complete development in Bangladesh and the ISI and the links of these terrorists with the terrorist organization in Bangladesh is a very serious issue. I would only like to make two important points. Firstly, the situation in Bangladesh is very, very sensitive, and these terrorist organizations are making the best of it due to the recent change in the government, and of course Yunus government had given tacit support to the Jamaatis and such like elements. And secondly, Pakistan is onto the game. They want to divert attention from Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, POK, so that their internal situation actually gets deflected, and they try to create situation in India, which is the larger design of ISI or Pakistani intelligence organization in conjunction with Bangladesh, Vaishali.
Right. I want to now go across to Major General Shashi Asthana. Major General Asthana, now just for our better understanding, I want to ask you that what counter-intelligence mechanisms help intercept such threats before execution?
Firstly, kudos to all the security agencies who have been able to bust this module, because it could have been dangerous. Secondly, I agree with everything what General Dwivedi has said, and I would like to add on certain points in context of the questions which you have asked. Certainly, it's a very complex operation even to catch them, and the instruments used, as you have asked, it could be money laundering, it could be certain activities which could have been traced back, because it was it has been told that perhaps certain posters were found at various places being planted by these people, and that started off the chain of events, and some kind of linkages could be established, and that I think led to the broader investigation and perhaps nabbing all the members of the modules. Now, few things which I just want to highlight, that these sleeper cells are using certain facilities, and our intelligence has to be much more stronger, more so after whatever happened in the Red Fort scenario, and when all the doctors of the Faridabad hospital were nabbed. Now, unfortunately, in our country, the conviction rate is low, and why conviction rate is low is one reason, that people who fund these sleeper cells, whether it is ISI or it is a certain Lashkar-e-Taiba or it is certain Bangladeshi establishments, all of them not only support them, they also support the structure to get them released or get them bailed out in a manner that certain advocates are also, and certain activists, they are also supported in the same manner. So therefore, you find, and also we, unfortunately, we don't pay that much of attention. Like after those doctors were arrested, what happened to those doctors? I don't think anybody is covering them. People have generally forgotten, whereas the fact is there should have been very strong convictions. I find, in my opinion, the law UAPA is a weak law. Earlier we had stronger laws. I think our advocate friend would be able to amplify more, because in this you can only lodge FIR and do nothing more than that. And even police also has to, every time the time is over, they have to again go back to the court and convince them that they need these guys for more time. So that's another issue. Third is, I think certain procedures also need to be put in place. So many SIM cards without any problems which these guys are getting. Similarly, Aadhaar being forged has become a very common entity. Anybody can forge any time. So I think something has to be, perhaps certain precautionary measures have to be adopted as to how is it that, so those agencies which issued them the SIM cards, they also should be taken to task. What kind of verification did you do? They must have stayed somewhere. So the entire support system of these sleeper cells, that must be questioned, gingered up, and also punished. In addition to punishing these guys, then only, unless the conviction rate is high, nothing will move. Everybody nowadays feels that even if I get caught, so what? The agency which has given me money to do all this will also save me, bail me out. Now that is something which forces people in Pakistan to believe that India is a sponge and it can absorb such shocks, and we can get along and keep doing this without getting caught and without getting punished. Back to you.
That's a very important point, Major General Asthana, that you've made. How and why is it so easy to forge documents in this country? Manasvi Thapar is an advocate and a political analyst. Manasvi, I'd like to bring you in and I'd like your perspective on this.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the police and the investigative agencies for having busted the module before they could actually conduct a terror attack. Don't forget, we have just completed a very successful AI summit, and AI is the future of the world. And a lot of the top AI people were here from all over the world in India, and they said India would be a future hub of international AI. So all that is frankly rankling in the minds of the Pakistan army and especially the ISI. Unfortunately, the Bangladeshis have joined with them, and they are both out to destroy the Indian story of progress in AI and various other fields. Of course, it's not going to work, because the fact of the matter is that our police, our agencies have done a lot of work in masterminding in the sense of psychological operations, in the sense of information warfare. We have met that fairly and squarely. Such nonsense, for example, that minorities are not safe in India. If you look all over the country, there are flourishing minorities and they're doing very well. We can all be very proud of them. So the reality of the matter is that this is an effort by Pakistan, helped now by Bangladesh, to try and destroy the growth story of India before it really takes off, and prevent the rest of the world from believing in India, investing in India, and investing in Indians. Thank you.
That was Mr. Madhav Nalapat. He's the editorial director of the Sunday Guardian. Mr. Nalapat, pardon me, that question was for Manasvi, but I mixed the two names. Pardon me, sorry about that. Of course, Manasvi Thapar, I'd like your perspective.
I think let's be very clear about it. The most important thing here is that Indians operating with foreign handlers is something which is a national security issue, and I think this is not a normal law and order matter. It's a national security matter, wherein ISI has such a network wherein they are getting in touch with individuals and getting things done, and these sleeper cells are actually happening and are very much operative in our country. And this raises a larger question when we know we are sandwiched between enemy states, and this is concerning to the level wherein we can, whom should we trust, whom should we not trust. I think Dr. Asthana made that statement, which is very correct, that these companies should also be penalized in how could they issue Aadhaar based or non-Aadhaar based SIM cards to anyone. And this is alarming. These are direct questions also to the Home Ministry, that these suspects who are under surveillance, what basically triggered these people, and how long they have been operating in our country. And if there is an ISI angle, have we led this to a diplomatic level discussion? Have we flagged this to Pakistan or Bangladesh for that particular matter? And this is a next level of online radicalization which is happening in our country, which is going to like Deemak, which is going to make sure that our Indian youth is being targeted. So this is something which needs to be controlled, and I think this is a very good step. But how deep is their network? How well connected they are? While we are sitting here, we claim to be the best defense of the world. We claim to have the best security of the world. We have the largest cyber security experts of the world, and even then, these ISI agents or intelligence is trying to enter my country, I think that is not something which we could tolerate. Nationalism is chest thumping is one part, but protecting the internal security of our country is the most important struggle which is happening right now. They are penetrating the minds of Indian youth. This has to be protected, and we have to have a structured response towards such kind of agencies. We have to have a intelligence led, which basically prevents such kind of activities in our country. And I think we are very short of intelligence in this stuff, because we know after 76 years of independence, we know Pakistan is an enemy state, and they cannot be intelligent enough to penetrate my youth. So we have to be ultra intelligent. We have to be better footed than these Pakistani agents or intelligent people. I don't say that we can't do that. I believe we have much more power. We have much more intelligence. We have much more strong intel, which Pakistan would have. But only thing is, there is something which is missing, and we need to plug that pin where it is necessary.
Major General Gigi Dwivedi, this very, very important point that has been raised on this discussion. Now, do you think that, you know, our systems like digital forensics should be strengthened and other systems, so that, you know, in cases involved, no more cases happen where multiple SIM cards are so easily available?
Well, Vishali, I think we need to address the issue in a very holistic and at the national level. First and foremost, we are facing a nation, that is Pakistan, whose security policy is based on the proxy war. So this is all part of the proxy war. It is not only in isolation that you are targeting these modules, these cells, it is part of the whole proxy war doctrine of Pakistan, and today Bangladesh is very much part of this doctrine. So therefore we need to have a national counter proxy war doctrine, and that is the most important, because you cannot be fighting the terrorism within your own state. It has to be a very proactive measure. So what I feel is that this needs to be handled as part of the larger national doctrine, national security strategy. So therefore, this facet as to how we tie up or we button up our security within our own geographic boundary is one of the important issues of fighting the proxy war. And in this, the point is that whole our strategy must be proactive. We mostly are reacting. You imagine this is one cell we have busted, but there could be many more which are still underground, which are not surfaced. So the issue is that this has to be taken at the national level, and there is no region which can be in the blind zone. The second point is, yes, today technology is very, very important, because technology helps you to be proactive. You actually start the whole issue in the bud before these actually modules can take shape. And the third important point is that we need to see the interlink between the organizations, how LAT, how ISI, how Bangladesh modules, how our sleeper cell, how these are actually coordinating the activities. That's where it is very, very important. So I would say that today intelligence or counterintelligence is very much linked up to the technology. It's the digitized cyber crime, and also the physical intelligence, because after all these modules are working in a locality, in a particular location. So therefore the human intelligence is also very important, because you cannot just rely on the electronic or on the cyber warfare. You have to have on the ground intelligence, and that's where actually you are able to make the difference. So all I can say is that we need to have a national security strategy, counter proxy war doctrine, which need to have all the facts integrated together and not in isolation. Vishali.
Major General Shashi Asthana, our security agencies have done an excellent job with these arrests, as you were rightly saying. Now, what message do these arrests send to hostile elements, especially an incorrigible country like Pakistan that doesn't ever seem to get the message?
The message would go automatically if we tighten up our systems, because as of now, since they can penetrate the system and handle these sleeper cells, that means there are weaknesses within our system as well. So we have to plug all these weaknesses and increase our capacity to handle that. And in that, some suggestions have been made. I endorse some of those suggestions to say that yes, there is a need for technological empowerment of all these agencies. Much more perhaps application of AI will help. Same is the case other than the technology. Also, awareness and the ground intelligence is also very extremely important. And most importantly is the deterrence. And deterrence only will come after by virtue of conviction. And unless they are deterred, they are reasonably comfortable that even if we get caught, nothing happens. And I will give you an example. I was in United Nations. I mean, that's a very disturbing example, but certainly uh, in United Nations, there was a Pakistani officer, and he just told me, sir, you all keep saying that give us Hafiz Saeed. Even if we give you, you know what is going to happen. You obviously there will be some advocate. He will want to become famous. He will start defending his case. There will be, you will spend crores in his security. Every media house will try to interview him, and thereafter your courts will ask for proof, and all proofs are lying here which you will never get. And after 2 years, you will not know what to do with Hafiz Saeed. Now, this is the kind of weakness which they have analyzed that exists in our system, and that is why they feel that even if a sleeper cell is caught, he will be let off very easily. And I think that is where we need to plug. We have to make specimen and examples out of those people. I just to see no reason why all those doctors, when the nation was absolutely angry with everybody, and all of those doctors who did such heinous crimes, but I don't see any news thereafter of any conviction of any doctor so far. So this is what this is where perhaps the weakness is. We have to tighten up our systems. We have to tighten up our laws as well, and that's why I said earlier we used to have a anti-terror law, and that was by many activists. They made it diluted, and now we are only on UAPA. That's why I keep talking about that as well. Back to you.
All right, I want to go across now to Mr. Madhav Nalapat. Mr. Nalapat, I want to ask you that, do you think that intelligence sharing mechanisms between states are robust enough? And does this, more importantly, does this reflect strong intelligence interception or a deeper security challenge, according to you?
Look, let me tell you the most important factor in fighting terrorism is the public. If the public is with you, the public is the first line and the best line of defense. And the public gives you leads, the public gives you indications of who are the people who are plotting this kind of thing, and you capture them before they can do any damage, as in this particular case. So what is most important is the confidence of the public, the trust of the public. Like we said in AI, the most important factor is trust. In governance also, the most important factor is trust. And if there is trust among the people about the governance structure, then you will get information, and you will be able to prevent such activities before they take place. So I think that building of that huge construct of trust is a very important task of any government, and a task that will assure them success in the war on terror that is now being conducted by India, by those who are hostile to the concept of a growing, developing India becoming a very powerful economic country. Thank you.
I want to now bring in Manasvi Thapar, who's an advocate. Manasvi, I want to ask you that, what timeline do such investigations typically follow before a charge sheet is filed?
See, these are the framework of the entire terrorist network, and everything takes generally a larger time frame. So police, intelligence, and also the Home Ministry and other agencies get involved, and then final effect is taken into consideration. So it's not that this
emergency services.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So as a country, the first and most important thing we have to understand is that from reactive arrest, we have to be into proactive prevention of stuff. That is something which is missing in India since independence. We have understood that we are surrounded by enemies, so we have to be proactive in terms of preventing our own citizens. The second most important thing which we need to do as a country is that now is the time that we should have a nationwide entire framework laid out to counter radicalization and disrupt these kind of online recruitment agencies which are creating a unhealthy atmosphere in my country. This is the most important part, and it requires a lots of mandate from the PMO, the HMO, and only then these things can take into a proper shape. Thirdly, the stronger coordination has to happen between multiple agencies. One agency has to be the central intelligence, second agency has to be the state police. Then India is a coastal country, so the coastal and the border states have to be properly coordinated. It has to be a well-oiled system where who is entering my country, what is going out of my country, what kind of networks these people are playing on. So this has to be laid out. We cannot be on the back foot as of now. 21st century India, which is leading in AI, which is leading in tech, which is leading as an industry, which is leading in defense. Everywhere Indians and India is leading. So we have to have this zero tolerance policy towards terrorism. We have to have a strategic posture towards these kind of inter-service intelligence of Pakistan. We have to make sure that these agencies are dethroned, and this can only happen when there is a ultimate federal understanding between states and central agencies. Apart from that, there cannot be any one united India towards terrorism. There cannot be this kind of stuff which we need to stop. There cannot be an incubation happening of terrorism in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, or UP, or anywhere in our country. We have to make sure that the entire idea of India is that we have to be terrorism free. And for that, whatever it takes for states to do that, we have to coordinate it with the central agency and the state agencies.